It's a good ball played in for Tony Morley. Oh, he missed it! It is! Peekaboo! Villa in the lead!
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to the Villa Forever podcast. I am your host, Chad Williams. Please subscribe and make sure to give this video the thumbs up. Do what you can to help me to the road to 2K. I am joined by my special guest, Callum Shaw, who is the host of Holte Heaven TV and has previously been on my show before. Then we have Stuart on the show, who is a PSG fan, Parisian Londoner, and later on in the show, French football expert Jonathan Johnson will be joining me on the show as well. This is the match preview. I'll be doing a pre-match talk show. Aston Villa versus PSG, Champions League quarter-final second leg, at Villa Park on Tuesday night. It is an 8 PM kickoff under lights. Last week in Paris, it finished 3-1 PSG. Can Aston Villa come back from a 2-goal deficit? And tomorrow night, the tough night is going to be important. It is very important the Aston Villa fans get right in the game. And Aston Villa needs to give their everything to have any chance of progressing to the semi-finals. Great to have you both for the show. How are we?
I feel great. It's good to be back on. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to be back. And Stuart, great to speak to you as well.
Thanks for having me, Chad. I mean, I'm glad that we can discuss the game before the game as well. You know, I feel the pressure is building up, not necessarily for you guys, but also for us. I think it's the first time we are considered kind of the favorites. We like being the challengers, and it's not in a very good position to be considered the favorites, especially going to Villa Park.
Because as well, it's great to get a different perspective. So from the PSG perspective.
So
the thing is that you're not Emery there. Anything's possible.
You know what? Unai Emery has been at PSG. I think he was a great gaffer with us. I have nothing but good feedback with Unai. I think he's a good gaffer. He's done a lot of good for you as well. If we analyze the first leg, I was surprised of you guys playing defensively like you did, kind of parking the bus. Let's be honest, I was not expecting you guys to park the bus. We are not really performing with a lower defense block, and that like you guys did. And with the second leg, you have no other option than to expose you guys to counter attack because you have to go now for goals. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game, very attacking football game.
And when you scored that third goal, I think it really killed us. It's a shame you couldn't hold on to 2-1 instead.
It's not the same with 2-1 exactly. Everyone was relieved when we scored that third goal because we knew that 2-1 first leg you are not guaranteed at all to get qualified. On the top of this, mate, it can be 2-1 or 3-1. PSG, we are well known to be traumatized by bloody comebacks. I can name Barcelona, I can name Real Madrid, I can name Manchester United. So trust me, we're not showing any arrogance, any confidence whatsoever because we've been punished and bullied in the past by this kind of comeback where we were thinking, yeah, 4-0 first leg is done, we're going to get qualified. And we saw what happened in the past. So trust me, this game at Villa Park, we are approaching it in a very serious way. We're not arriving saying, okay, this is done, job is done, that's when it's going to be a walk in the park. It's not going to be a walk in the park.
That's it. I saw as well Martinez, the goalkeeper, the last game, he taunted your fans. Because obviously Argentina beat France in the World Cup final.
Exactly. So it was not well received, obviously, at the Parc des Princes in Paris. We were booing him, and you know what? We don't really like your keeper as a person, but maybe that's an unpopular opinion. But most of the PSG fans will probably be agreeing with me. But I think it's definitely the type of keeper that you want on your side, no, not against you. He's a
That's what I
world
love
class
about
keeper.
Martinez. I like the mind games, what he does. It's like he uses the dark arts of the game really well.
Yeah,
And Callum,
he is.
are you excited for the game?
Well, I went to Greece last year, Olympiakos, and I wasn't really expecting very much. So now coming back to Villa Park against PSG, it reminds me a little bit of that. But I think that if we don't go through tomorrow, especially, I think it's still a really, really good attempt to that Champions League, especially with the fact that most teams and most fans were like, "Oh, you're not gonna get past this league phase. You're gonna go straight down to finish in the top eight as well, and to beat Bayern and have a good go on, especially in that first leg." I actually think that regardless, it's not really the end of the world if we don't go through tomorrow. But having said that, though, of course, I want to go through, but it's a real mountain to climb, and I think that we
Well,
can.
it's a great achievement to think we've got to where we've got to. You know, to get to Champions League quarter final, I think it's incredible we've even got there. So as a Villa fan, I'm just enjoying the ride. This is going to be a bit similar to last season in the Conference League against Olympiacos. If you're very similar, as in that, but the other team got the advantage.
Well, but guys, remember, the closer you get, the closer you want to touch the trophy as well. You know, that's a bit frustrating. Now you are at the quarterfinal. It's just, and I have actually a question for you, Holt. Like, the fact that we did suffer in the past those bloody comebacks does not give you a little bit of hope that you guys can do something similar that what Man United did or Barcelona did, or how do you approach that in the sense that obviously the PSG you're facing now, I said it earlier to Chad offline. The PSG that you're facing now is no longer Hollywood FC. It's no longer the Avengers all together. It's no longer what you guys described as a
Yeah.
plastic team or plastic club. But now it's an actual proper team that makes sense also in terms of recruitment and the football that we're producing is a quality football. So obviously it's not the same, but still you never know what can happen. It's just one leg.
Well, in
So
football, you know, anything can happen in football. And if we get an early goal, say if we get an early goal, it lifts the crowd, then we start to believe.
the early goal is something that I heard a lot from the Villa fans because obviously when you open up the scoreline, then you think that well obviously the entire stadium will be buzzing, rightfully so, but we've been known this season to be very good to not panic when we are 1-0 or 2-0 down. We always come back. We show a bit of character. That's why I'm not going to be panicking if you guys are opening the scoreline. If you score first, I will be okay, fair enough. Everyone will be buzzing. It will be game on. And that's as a football fan, this is what you want to see. You want a
Yeah.
game on. And it will be a good battle, to be fair. I think it will be a good battle tomorrow.
So with Aston Villa, do you want to be playing the biggest teams? That's what the Champions League is all about. You don't want to be playing like the
Agreed.
lesser teams. You want to be playing big. You want to be in big games. So
Well, it
yes, you
touches
can.
me that you're describing us as a big team, and back in the days that people were not considering us a big football club or a big team. So the fact that now we are reaching that level of the Champions League season in, season out, uh, now is also showing the rest of Europe that we should be taken very seriously. So, and we are showing a lot of respect towards Aston Villa as well, to be fair, guys. The same as I mentioned in another pod, I think it was two days ago, but when we faced Newcastle, I think it was last season. I think it was last season.
Yeah.
And I've been in St James's Park. The atmosphere was unreal because they haven't played Champions League for 21 years.
Yeah.
And you guys have won European trophies in your history, even if it was a long time ago, but you've been part of European pedigree, European heritage, and historically you're a big football
Because
club
we won the
in this
European.
country.
We won the European
Mm,
amongst those teams.
exactly. So you should not be underestimated, and I think we are the way we approach that game. I think we're showing you a lot of respect as well, to be fair.
So, Callum, I wanted to ask you about the Southampton game, and what is your thoughts on the Southampton game?
Well, one thing I want to say is it goes into tomorrow's game too. With that 2-goal deficit, we can't really play how we've been playing with that defensive
Yeah.
mentality. And usually in the second half, we turn up the dial and we go for it really. And we've seen it every single
Yeah.
every single of those 8 games that we went unbeaten before we lost in the first leg. So I think now it'll be really interesting to see what we set up like and how we attempt to go into this with that 2-goal deficit going into tomorrow's game, just because of the circumstances, and also we're not going to see that mentality going into the game. So it'll be really interesting to see how we do.
Is it you eighth win in a row?
So before we lost to you guys in the first leg, it was 8 wins.
Yeah, no, I mean in the Premier League. In the Premier League.
In the Premier League, no. I don't think
in the Premier League
4 in the Premier League.
Okay.
consecutive. Yeah.
So you're invincible as well. So that just makes me feel a little bit scared.
Well,
Invincible
we're in good form. I mean, both
Liga.
teams. I did say they're both in good form. I did say.
When you reach that level of the Champions League, it's not really by chance, isn't it? Like if you guys manage to reach that level of the competition, it's because you deserve it as well. I think we also deserve it, and also, you know, the one of us that will get qualified will face potentially Arsenal. So that's also adding an extra flavor to the fact that before facing you guys as well, we did face Arsenal. We lost. We smashed Man City. We played against Liverpool and we won against Liverpool. Now it's you guys, and if we win, potentially we're gonna play Arsenal again, which is a different Arsenal and a different PSG that will face each other if we are getting qualified. I don't want to jinx it, and I'm not going to show any arrogance because nothing is done yet. But me, as a PSG fan being based in the UK, I'd love to face Arsenal because that means if we're reaching the final stage in the final of the Champions League, that means we have eliminated
no.
all the Premier League teams. Yeah.
But I think, to be honest with you, I do realistically. I do think you'll win tomorrow night. I think being realistic, I think. We'll see what happens.
It depends on your starting 11. I think if you're starting Asensio and Oli Watkins, I think if you're starting both of them, I think you're going to cause us a lot of trouble. I think Morgan Rogers is still a very good player, but that's not the one that I'm fearing the most. Guys, let's be honest. Every ex-players that we have that are facing us, usually they bully us. So I'm expecting Asensio tomorrow to be very, very, very dangerous.
Do you think we'll start Marco Asensio? Don't you think
I
he'll
think
be
you
on the bench
should.
again?
I don't know about this.
Well, I personally would start him, I think. Asensio is a game changer. But just don't let him take penalties.
Oh God.
But you
Like,
guys are usually
they
playing
have
him as a
3 points.
super sub.
They're going to put the 3 points we got against Southampton. And that was vital. I mean, it's amazing that as Villa fans, we're talking about Champions League again for next season. Because I thought it was a great performance against Southampton. But it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't an easy game though. I
No,
mean, Southampton. I mean, they show fight, Southampton. And also, I like the way that as well that it was hard to put. We couldn't penetrate through them. And we kept probing, we showed patience. That's the thing what I like about this Villa team. We show patience.
I'm looking forward to the atmosphere at Villa Park, though. To be fair,
Yeah, me
Anfield,
too.
we turned up and we definitely were very noisy at the Emirates. We're noisy with City. We're noisy. Every English stadium where we go, our away fans are very noisy. So hopefully we're going to be able to shut down Villa Park tomorrow. But I'm expecting a great European night atmosphere from you guys. I've been told that that's the best
Well, I've been
atmosphere
collecting all the
in the country.
scarves. I've been collecting different scarves as well to get added to my collection, the PSG scarf and Villa.
no.
But yeah, but also, I'll tell you it's going to be key tomorrow night. But Yuri Tielemans as well. Because I think against Southampton, he made some real good passes.
Mm.
Especially that Ollie Watkins goal. Because I would actually say Yuri Tielemans is probably Aston Villa's player of the season. Callum, would you agree with that?
There's Luca Digne as well, right? I was expecting more from him. I have a soft spot for Luca Digne, as you know. He's also played for PSG. I love this player. I think he had a poor performance against us during the first leg. So if he
I like
steps up
Luka
his game,
Digne.
I
He
think,
always battles really well. And he's a
yeah.
good crosser of the ball. It shows how much quality we got in our squad.
It amazes me how good he's been for those 2. I'd say even 3 pivotal seasons when we was trying to get into Europe, and then we got to Europe, and then we did Conference League, and then the Champions League. I'm amazed that he's still consistent in the way that he is, because usually when you get older, you normally go down, but he's gone up. It's amazing just to see him hold his own, really, and especially with Matson, who offers a little bit more of an attacking threat, and Digne with a little bit more of a
He
defensive.
gets more forward. That's it. Ian Matson sort of gets more forward, doesn't he? He bombs forward. And Jacob Ramsey, I've been impressed with him. You like the way with Ramsey, how he finds the pocket to space. And I think tomorrow night that could cause PSG problems. If you can get the likes of Rodgers and Ramsey on the ball, because they're good at moving the ball in tight spaces.
But I still believe it's going to be a great European night in terms of atmosphere as well. You know, it's not only
Oh yeah,
about the football at the end of the day. When you are a football fan, especially us at Parisian Londoner, we attend the games, so we actually we can go and attend the games, which is priceless for all the fans out there that would love to be able to attend games. And I think it's also as a football fan, European night away at Villa Park. I think it was definitely something that I had on the top of my bucket list that I haven't done. And Anfield was something, but Anfield, no disrespect to our Scouse friends.
Villa Park's better.
Apparently, that's all I heard. Yes.
Yeah, you have a great. I hope you have a great time, but I think the PSG fans, I think they'll be in full voice as well.
We will be in full voice, 100% in the city and also in the stands. But I heard there's what's happening in Birmingham at the moment? There's a strike on what, rubbish or something like that,
Yeah,
and they're not collecting the bins.
it's another go on strike.
Oh my God. So it's gonna be a messy city that we're gonna discover tomorrow.
Yeah. So, Joe, let's not talk about the game in more detail. So, what do you expect from PSG, like coming to Villa Park?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, like Stuart. Yeah, what do you
I'm
expect?
expecting PSG to not park the bus because this is not our style of play. We're not going to try to control the scoreline because we don't have the necessary weapons to play that way. We're going to obviously try to play our best football, which is counter-attacking football. Um, I'm expecting a very basic like starting 11, which is the usual one. Potentially the maybe with a change between Kvaratskhelia, the Georgian, and maybe will be replaced by Barcola instead because he
Yeah.
also needs a bit of time to play. But I'm expecting high pace, counter-attacking, skillful, ball control, possession based game from us. Obviously, Luis Enrique is well known to be a possession-based gaffer, so that's what I'm expecting. I'm just thinking that our defense is our weakness still, our weakness,
Mhm.
and I will not be surprised if we are conceding first, and I will not be surprised if our keeper Donnarumma is committing a dumb mistake like he always
Well,
does.
he's a very good
Very
goalkeeper.
clumsy Donnarumma. I call him clumsy
He's an
Donnarumma.
Italian international.
Yes, he is. He is. It's been okay. And it's been obviously he had a world-class game against Liverpool during the second leg, which actually saved us. He had to step up his game after the Alisson performance. So in front of him, he has Emi Martinez as well, which is a world-class keeper. So that would be an interesting game from a keeper perspective. But I'm just not safe with Donnarumma in goal, mate. It's just you never know what can happen. He can show a bit of clumsiness. So I'm sure we're gonna concede. It's not gonna be a 2 or 3, or as I said, it's not gonna be a walk in the park. 100%. You guys will show character and you will battle back, fight back. Let's say if you're asking for my score prediction, I would go for either a 2-1 PSG or a draw.
Okay.
Aggregate, I think we're gonna get qualified, but tomorrow is gonna be a very very tight game, in my opinion.
I think for Villa now, I think it's in with the fans. They're going to play a big part tomorrow, like to lift the crowd. The big thing with Villa is don't concede. Because I'm thinking if we concede, so PSG score first, the tie's over. Simple as
Not
that.
necessarily. I wouldn't say it will be over, Chad. That's the thing. Now you're playing home. You have your own crowd. You have nothing. What I'm trying to say is that you have nothing to lose anymore tomorrow. You have nothing
Yeah.
to lose. You might just well just try everything you can. So even if we score first, that
Mhm.
does not change really anything for you, to be fair. Obviously, if you score first, that will lift up and everyone will be buzzing and believe, but you still need to believe until the very end. Trust me, Chad, I have suffered many comebacks in my life with PSG. It's never over until the ref blows the whistle. So
Yeah,
and it's a
exactly.
European night, so
You
just
know
we
what it is,
just
as
go for
long
it.
as tomorrow, I'd like to say a show fight. As long as we give it a good go, I can't complain.
Mm, fair enough.
I think,
Well,
Emery, he would be doing his homework. So hopefully he's got a
of course.
tactical game plan.
But remember, Chad, we were expecting a tactical game from Unai Emery during the first leg. But I'm sorry, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you parked the bus during the first leg. You were way too shy and you were defending all the time. I don't know
I
what
think for the
happened.
second half, yeah. We put up the bus, I think, in the second half.
Oh, that I'll tell you what though. When we scored the first goal, it was a matter of time before you would score though. So it didn't
Mm.
really fill me with any confidence at all, just because of how attacking you were. I don't know if it was If it was to do with you being so attacking or the fact that our defences we were being, I don't know. But the way you attacked us in that first half, oh man, scary.
Yeah, that
Really
front three.
scary.
They've got a dangerous front three with a lot of pace.
What would you say would be the most dangerous player of PSG tomorrow during the second leg? The one that you think it can be, well, it can be the midfielder, that can be the midfield, that can be the front three, that can be, well, obviously maybe the sides with Hakimi and Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes is also causing a lot of trouble to your defense. But what would you say is the key player for tomorrow on the PSG side?
Also Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah,
the Georgians.
Problems, I think.
Yeah. He's adapting quite fast to the style of play, to the squad. So I'm actually quite impressed. I think we haven't had a player joining and adapting this quick and fitting this quick in the squad. So
And
but
also,
he's a threat.
Vitinha.
I love Vitinha, yeah.
Does he play
In the
for
midfield.
Wolves before?
Agreed. Midfield will be the key as well.
Because even Prince William said how much he's developed.
Do you reckon the future King of England will be in the stands at Villa Park tomorrow with his son?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it will be a lucky charm for you. Maybe it's the, how do you call that, the black cats of Aston Villa. If he's in the stands, then you need to be careful.
The thing is, well, don't get caught out on the counter attack. There's also you got Dembele, and is it you got that? Is the Jew or something? Jew, is it?
What's his name?
Is it Jew? D-O-U? You know.
Do it.
Yeah,
do it. It's good. Yeah, well, you see now everyone in the Premier League wants to sign him after his performance against Man City, but also against Liverpool. Everyone has an interest. He's a youngster, very promising. He said he's been very influenced by Neymar. When he was a kid, he was watching a lot of videos of Neymar, and he took a little bit of style from him. Oh, the main man himself.
Hey guys.
Great job on the show, John.
Thanks a lot for having me. Sorry for the wait. Appreciate the patience.
It's okay. Thank you, John. Thank you.
We're just talking about the guy. Yeah, John. What do you expect?
I'm expecting a lot of different things. I mean, as a Villa fan, I'm really hoping, obviously, that we're able to overturn the first leg deficit. It reminds me a lot of the scenario that faced Villa decades ago now when we played Atletico Madrid at home. I know that Villa fans won't want me to bring this game up, but it's impossible when you factor in the brilliance of Stan Collymore goal and the scenario that Villa were facing then. It does feel like it could be a repeat scenario. But I still feel a little bit optimistic. I think an early goal can really change things. Obviously, PSG took a big option for the semi-finals with that goal late on. But I think Villa certainly showed in the first leg they definitely have the ability to compete with PSG. It really depends on what happens in the first sort of half an hour. Really, I mean, we saw Villa leading after half an hour in Paris.
Well, I think Villa need to show some
the first goal again here.
Intensity. Not the high intensity.
Chad, before I go, I wanted to share a very meaningful story with you. John being here, John knows what I'm going to mention. I'm not going to ask him if he supports Villa tomorrow because he did answer that question when he said he's going to be supporting Villa tomorrow. But I believe, John, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but around 5 years ago, I met with John in Paris, and obviously we were talking all things PSG, and also he did mention that he was an Aston Villa fan, and I said, "Well, which team are you going to support then if one day PSG is facing Aston Villa?" And he said, "I don't think it's gonna arrive anytime soon." I remember he said this. But instead, obviously, I will support Aston Villa, and here we are with you guys talking about that game. I think it means the world, and also obviously for you, John. But it's gonna be a tough game for you tomorrow, isn't it? You're gonna have mixed feelings about the result, no?
It was already difficult in the first leg. I was actually sat with PSG fans as well for the first leg, which made it even more difficult. I mean, I'm really glad that you remember that anecdote because I know how important it is to you as well that people support their
Of
local
course,
team. We've had plenty of discussions about that over the years, but
of course.
there was never any doubt that if this fixture ever did happen, and to be honest, I kind of expected it to be in like a meaningless friendly or something like that. I
Mm,
certainly never imagined it would be in a Champions League quarter-final. But I've always told people that if it did ever sort of come to pass and actually be a proper serious game, that I would support Villa. So of course I want Villa to
of
go through.
course.
But I do kind of feel like there's now a scenario where I think it could be painted in a positive light if Villa were to win the game on Tuesday, even if they do still end up going out over two legs. That extra goal does make it a bit tricky, but I'm
Mm.
confident that Villa Park is a special place to be
The thing
on
is, we
European
can make
nights.
it a fortress that the fans get more on the team. It's going to be very important.
Well, the home form is already very encouraging, and I think as well the way that the team bounced back at the weekend, okay, against Southampton, and people have pointed out that both Liverpool and Villa have played Southampton between the first and second legs against PSG. So make of that what you will, but it does feel like Villa's form hasn't taken that much of a beating, and I think the confidence will still be there, and ultimately Villa were 30 seconds away from probably coming away with what Unai Emery was hoping to achieve in Paris, which was still being in the tie, being a goal down. Okay, we're 2 goals down now, but the team will have to make do with that. And it does still feel like there are reasons for optimism and encouragement, and the fans believing from the very first minute before kickoff. I think we'll make it a very intimidating atmosphere for PSG's players and staff.
But whatever happens, I think
John,
it'll be a special
go on,
night,
go on.
no matter what happens, especially
Of
the
course,
atmosphere.
Of course, and there's nothing more special for Villa fans than European nights. There is also the fact that Villa, have a European Cup title to their name, and PSG don't at this moment in time. So I think there is also that factors in.
No, no,
But I
no, no,
think
no, 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 John. Be careful to what you're saying here. And you know exactly what you're talking about. We don't have a Champions League yet, but we won a European Trophy in 1996, and you know exactly what I'm referring to. So come on,
no,
don't
of
wind me
course,
up here, John. I know you have good PSG knowledge as well.
no, I know.
Because
I'm
PSG
teasing.
haven't won the European Cup.
I'm
No,
teasing
yes,
him. I'm
but they
teasing him.
want to
I'm
win it
teasing
this
him.
season, don't they? That's what they want.
Well,
That's
neither
what
of us.
Luis Enrique.
Neither of Arsenal. Neither of Arsenal. It's not specific to PSG. But no, I think I do think as well. One thing that will probably come out of Tuesday night, regardless of the results, I think this kind of match, this kind of atmosphere that we can expect from Villa Park, it will show people that Villa really is a much bigger club than many people have really thought or expected before these two ties. I'm confident that the fans and the team will really pleasantly surprise people who maybe think that this stage of the Champions League is already a step too far for Villa.
So the
Yes,
real question, John, is: Are you in Paris right now, or are you already in Birmingham?
I'm in Paris right now, but I'm traveling to Birmingham first thing tomorrow.
And
well,
I'm expecting you to come and see me so we can at least take a picture together, brother. Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, it'll happen. So I
yeah,
look
that's it.
forward
Yeah,
to seeing you
I'll
too.
see,
Uh,
I'll see you there.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yes,
fantastic. I'm looking forward to it being a huge celebration for Villa fans,
uh,
and looking forward to seeing some friendly faces in the PSG end too.
it's
Fair
a
enough.
great
Chad,
achievement.
I have to go now. I appreciate the invite. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, mate. Much appreciated. Big up to you. Big
Cheers,
up to
mate. I
what
really
you do.
appreciate your time.
Big up to the pod. Good luck for tomorrow. But I know the result
Hopefully
already. No worries,
not.
guys.
Hopefully you don't win, but But if yeah, best.
Bye bye. Take care. Take care. Take care. Allez Paris. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Take care, Stuart.
See you soon.
So, John, tactically, what should be the tactical game plan against PSG?
It's a really good question. I mean, I think Villa can't afford to not come out looking for an early goal, so I think it has to be very attack-minded. Obviously, the setup couldn't be as attack-minded in the first leg because, you know, Villa had to be very cautious, see how PSG came out and sort of attacked them. But I think because of that extra goal tacked on right at the very end in Paris, Villa have nothing to lose now, absolutely nothing to lose. I think, you know, the fact that form hasn't suffered in the league against Southampton over the weekend is also big because we're still in competition for the 5th place in the league and the Champions League spot, FA Cup semi-finals as well.
On all three fronts.
Sorry?
Authority on all three fronts.
Yeah, exactly. And that's hugely important. And I think it's really important as well for Emery in terms of keeping the players motivated. But I think in terms of the way that they set up, I wouldn't change too many things from the first leg in terms of personnel. You know, I think now that yellow cards get wiped regardless at the end of this game, you know, I think it's more important about getting that attacking balance right. I liked the way that the team looked when Onana came on in Paris. I think Watkins suddenly has, you know, his tail's up. He's got a bit of confidence, so it wouldn't surprise me if he was handed the start.
Do you think Marco Asensio?
I think Asensio for this one, I think bringing him off the bench is still probably the right call. It feels like bad timing because of the penalties that were missed against Southampton.
He missed the other weekend. He missed those 2 penalties, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think that'll do his confidence any good. But also, I mean, it is that kind of game where, you know, I think Asensio will really be up for it. He'll feel more confident playing at Villa Park. But for me, I think it would be a risk playing him from the start. And I would have said the same thing even before the Southampton game, to be honest.
Yeah. I think as well, the big thing as well is we don't give the ball away in key areas. And look after the ball possession.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
thing is, we've got players that can hurt at PSG.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I think also PSG are a team that are used to, like, the way that they play is designed around having the ball. So if you can take a bit of possession away from PSG, suddenly they're not used to it. And the thing that I really like about looking at Villa's chances ahead of this second leg up against a team like PSG, with all due respect to Luis Enrique, who's a fantastic coach and is able to get PSG playing some fantastic football, Emery is more flexible with his tactics. He's able to change the system that the players are playing in more frequently than Luis Enrique. PSG, I think, are very comfortable with one style of play, not multiple. He's maybe not as pragmatic as Unai Emery is. And because of that, I think Villa will be able to adapt better to the changing stages of the game. So if Villa were to get the opening goal early on, you know, I think Emery will be able to change.
You can tweak
you know,
that's it. You can tweak the tactics.
Yeah, exactly. And Luis Enrique, I think, would have a difficult time adapting to that. And I think as well, something else that maybe was discussed before my arrival on the show, there are a lot of PSG fans, possibly players and staff as well, who think that the job is done. Some of what you could hear sort of in and around Parc des Princes last week suggested that many people think it's done and dusted and the place in the semi-finals is already secured. And, you know, an early goal will definitely sow doubts in the minds of those people.
And Callum, what are you expecting, not tactically, from Villa?
It's really hard to say. I mean, from what we've seen so far, and especially in that Southampton game, we kind of allowed it in the first half to just chase us around. We kept the ball, we kept a lot of that possession, and then in the second half we turned the dial up, and then we just went for it. Especially in that second half where we could have won that 5 or 6 really in that second half really. So it's going to be interesting to see where Unai goes with this one, especially with it being a 2-goal deficit. So we have to see something that maybe Villa fans haven't really seen before in terms of the tactics, especially. If we was going more attacking, it would be interesting to see that style of play.
Yeah. I think that Henry with Villa at the moment, we're very good in transition as well. So if you the build-up play at the back, we can sort of move the ball quicker, or say more incisive. I think that's another way where we could do one up.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think Pau Torres is absolutely key to that. I think it's a more direct style of play, which we've seen this season. PSG really don't like, those potential balls being, lofted in over the top. You look at the way that Tielemans assisted Watkins at the weekend. That kind of opportunity creation, that's something that PSG do really struggle with. So if you can sort of have that kind of craftsmanship from further up the pitch, coming from defence through midfield, I think that really could cause some problems for PSG as well. And let's not forget, there is an advantage as well for Villa coming into this one, and that's that PSG won't be playing with the same central defensive partnership in both games, because Marquinhos missed the first game through suspension, so logically he comes back. It'll be his first time going up against some of these kind of players. That's also potentially an advantage.
To give you the patient build-up play, well, I think this game tomorrow night is going to be similar to the Bayern Munich game. That's how I think we should approach it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. The only thing about the difference between those two games is obviously,
we need to score more.
Yeah, exactly. Need to score more, but we don't come into it knowing that there were two games and we'd already played the first of those. So I think it's definitely going to be the same sense of occasion, if not more. And I think that's a huge plus for the players. But I think as well, the crowd really have a part to play. And even if PSG were to take the lead, which I think is probably the unthinkable scenario for many Villa fans. I hope the fans stay behind the team, and really try and will them on, because it's very difficult to say when there might be another night like this one coming up for the club. Hopefully many more, because of the way that the club has turned the corner in the last couple of years. But I do really hope that it's going to be a famous night at Villa Park. And Chad, I want to say thanks for the invitation to join the show. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I have
to head off, but hope you guys enjoy the game tomorrow up the Villa. And fingers crossed.
We're looking forward. I'm excited for the game. I think it's going to be a special atmosphere.
It is. Well, thanks a lot again for having me, guys. And
thank you for your time, John. I really appreciate it.
No, an absolute pleasure.
See you soon, mate. So, Callum, I was going to come to another question. So, what makes PSG such a quality side?
Well, it was just the attacking ambition that they had, especially in that first leg. I don't think I've ever seen a team go at ours like they did. I think it was just really, really scary to watch at times, and especially with some of the players that they've got, and that front three, especially the guy from Georgia. What's his name? Cabria.
Something like
Imagine being a commentator trying to pronounce that name. Jesus Christ. He was amazing, and especially that second goal. It was really well taken, and the way he carried the ball, and he was just a fantastic player. And when they don't play your team, they're going to be a joy to watch.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
They got some dangerous players. Because what it is, the one situation's what I'm worried about. Nazi Cash, he struggled.
Yeah, that's something I'm quite worried about, especially Luca Dean. I don't think he's really got the pace to deal with those players, but Maatsen has, and Maatsen has got a lot of good key abilities that Luca Dean doesn't have right now. But I think for me, Maatsen has the attacking mind and the pace, but Digne has the defensive mind and the distribution. So two very different players who offer two completely different things. It'll be interesting to see who Unai picks. I do like both of those players, and I think that Luca Dean really has been a key man for Villa, especially for those 3 seasons where we managed to get to Europe and played in 2 competitions. So it'll be a real insight to see what Unai does.
With PSG, like they've got that winning mentality. Because like Luis Enrique, he's won the Champions League before with Barcelona. So he's been there and done it. And he's very tactically astute as well.
Yeah.
So PSG are a team that are going places.
All of those players who played for PSG, I could say right now they could play in any position on that pitch. That's how versatile they were in that first leg. It was really scary to watch at times.
And I did see as well, they've got the 2 best fullbacks probably in Europe at the moment.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. It amazes me how much quality they have.
Oh yeah, they've got quality sort of all over that pitch. And also, when you think of like PSG, they're up there with the big elite European teams. The likes of your Madrid, like your Bayern Munich's, likes of that.
I think they've got a really big opportunity to win the Champions League this time. I really do. It wouldn't surprise me if they go on and win it.
Yeah, they got a chance. Definitely got a chance.
I think they're one of the best teams I've seen Villa play in a long time. I mean, I can't speak for any of the older generation of fans who've seen us play in the 80s, 90s, and the 2000s because I'm only 22 myself. But that was one of the best teams I've seen throughout my lifetime.
Yeah, they've been the best, the greatest of all time. As well, PSG, what I like about them as well, they've replaced their players well. Because you remember, they had Lionel Messi, they had Mbappe and Neymar, but now they've replaced them with pure talent.
Yeah, and I think talent as well that's going to be a very big investment in the future for them because they've got Barcola, who's, I think, 21, 20, 22. They've got Cabrishella, who's nearly in his mid-20s now. So they're going to be assets that grow the team and grow their revenue to go and get these big players for them to compete the very best out there. So it's a very good setup they have, and it's good recruitment all round. So that's what we need to.
I'll come to the final question, Connor. So from the what has been the best Champions League game so far in the competition?
Well, Bayern was one of the best nights of my life, really. I think Bruges as well, the second time, that was a very big performance, and it was good for me because I was actually there at that time. So I was in Belgium for that one. Celtic was good as well, and I was actually in Glasgow for that game, ironically. So that one was a good one. There's a few ones that stand out for me, but I've got to say Bayern as well, and also Young Boys. I mean, for the first game that I've seen in the Champions League in my lifetime, and it's been a long time since then. I think it was 43 years since the last time we competed in the Champions League, and for that to be the first one, I think that one's special as well. So I've got to say, from my experience, I've got to say either Bayern or the Bruges game, just because of how good the day was, and just it was a great atmosphere around in Belgium. So those two stand out.
The Bayern Munich game. I want to say Bayern as well. Because I remember the John Jerome goal. The lob over Manuel. It's a class goal. And that was a complete Unai Emery performance.
Yeah, that was one of the best performances I've seen in a long time.
It's something like spot on, and we repeated the score from like over 42 years ago. The same
Yeah.
score as it was in Rotterdam.
I think we've only played Bayern Munich twice, and it's been the same scoreline both those times as well.
Does it? I think that's
correct. I think that's correct.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely. I like the atmosphere as well. Because in that game, I remember all the fans in full voice. There's one of those guys when Owen was there. So you'll never forget it. And put a lot of passion into it as well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, before you go, Callum, I'd like to get your score prediction. What are you going with?
Right, I was in Greece for Olympiakos, and I didn't really have any faith then. But I think with it being at Villa Park this time against PSG, in the way that we're most likely going to set up and the way that our fans are going to be, I would say I'd like to think it would be a draw and then we take them to penalties, but I don't know. Do I have to give one?
Yeah.
I don't want to think. So I'm going to say my head says a PSG win, but my heart says that it's going to be a draw and we'll take it to penalties.
That's a good, yeah, I like it. That's a decent prediction, yeah.
Oh man, you see, the thing is, I don't want to be negative, but I also want to actually use my head and my brain for once.
That's it.
It's a hard decision.
Happens, I'm looking forward to it. Whatever happens.
Yeah, I think we've done really well this season, and most of fans who were non-Villa fans did think that we weren't going to get past the league phase. To do that and to go into the top 8 as well, to bypass the phase where you have to play 2 legs to get to the knockouts, to bypass that and to go into the top 8 as well, and to only we only lost one game, didn't we, in Bruges? To lose one game is fantastic. So
yeah,
I'm very happy.
All we need now is to win the FA Cup.
Yeah, I think as well. This is the only time I've ever been confident of us winning a cup competition, because I think last season when we played Middlesbrough away, that was the only time we got past the 3rd round since the season we got relegated. So to win again, and most likely to get to a final. I'm not saying we will just yet, but with the opportunity to go to a final after the Palace game, whether or not we'll win or not is another story. But I believe we can do it this time. That's going to be a very, very important game, and I do believe we can do it.
Very quick, I'll look at a few comments to finish that we had earlier. Just a little look. It's got Anthony Boyce.
I'm going to have a little bit of a read.
Usual player of the season.
Morgan Rogers or Tillemans. Right, I'm from Halesowen, so to cheer him on, it feels like I'm cheering on a relative, but I would say Morgan Rogers for me. That's not me being a Halesowen bias or anything else. I just think that they're 2 players in 2 different positions, really, so it's really hard to make that decision. But I'd say for me, Morgan Rogers, especially with where he came from and the transition he's made from Championship to Premier League in a year and a half.
He's developed.
Yeah.
Just thanks to Emery. Like Emery's developed him into a top player.
Yeah. It's pure profit as well.
Yeah.
Which is another key component into obviously growing players' values and growing them as players and development. So that's
If I
all.
had to choose, I would go Rodgers out and again. I think I'll say Yuri Tielemans as well. I think he would be up there as well.
Yeah,
You can go with a free transfer for Leicester City.
yeah. I'm Boubacar Kamara as well. So I'd say both of those players. I'd say they're value wise. I'd say you're probably looking at. I'd say this. Now this is an estimate. I would say you're probably looking at 150
Yeah,
million a pair of them.
yeah, I do agree with that as well. So, yeah,
So
that's
again, it's profit, and that's one thing Steven Gerrard has done right for once is actually getting Booba, but all the rest.
Well, before I go, I'll go my prediction. I think we'll win 1-0, but I don't think it'd be enough to get us through. So it'd be 3-2 to PSG at that. I hope it don't happen, but that's my realistic opinion.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, well then, it's been a great podcast. It's been a
yeah, I've
great
really enjoyed
ride.
this one.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe. And if you haven't, hit the like button. Make sure to give it a share. And give us a good review if you are listening via audio platforms. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you do, and you haven't been a part tomorrow, come say hello to me because I'll be at the game tomorrow. But thank you all for everyone for the time. I'm going to wrap up this episode with Villa forever and up the Villa.